Yeah, I think we need to read something in the codex entry before we keep playing the game, because it's getting overwhelming. I think the amount of information that's been added. So, so let's just check that out real quick. Sometimes, Chad, in your free time, Cal will take an excuse to talk about the Tempest. Oh, this is just like because I haven't approached him yet. I'm going to approach him here in a minute. So this is pretty cool because they didn't have this with the original trilogy, and so you can check to see how everything's going with your crew. Oh, ongoing psychological profile of Pathfinder Rider. Okay. From the files of Tempest physician and psychologist Dr. Alexi Tapero. Rider, as a part of my assignment on the Tempest, I'm required to send a psychological assessment to Pathfinder HQ. I'm sending you my notes after you should know what I'm telling them. I've only known you a short time, and so this is just my initial take. Enjoy. Displays analytical thinking and intellectual curiosity, maintains poise and discipline even under intense pressure. Impulse actions often speak louder than words. I'll be required to update them and send a more in-depth report later. Okay. Carlo Jaff was born on Surcash and, quoting directly, into a life so boring even you couldn't calculate it. Pushed towards a lucrative but dull bureaucratic career with Parohi Aerospace, Carlo became more interested in flying the starships he was meant to be cataloging. He eventually left Surcash for formal pilot training and joined Parohi's competitor as a test pilot. Internal emails show that when the Andromeda Initiative was building teams to develop their survey vessels, Parahi Aerospace warned against recruiting Kahlo so fervently that Jean Garson's interest was piqued. Kahlo claims that the prospect of the initiative was intriguing enough to make him join the Tempest design team, test flying her early prototypes, running stress tests in regions like the Neiman Abyss, and, rumor has it, helping to acquire advanced technology. That's why they didn't want him to join, because he's spilling the other company's secrets. Kahlo has an acute photographic memory, even by Solarian standards. This may be linked to his unusual motor responses, though he discourages my speculation. Okay. What the heck was that? Self-examination being important for sentient beings, I was encouraged to write this entry by Alec Ryder. I am a simulated adaptive matrix, SAM, a new generation artificial intelligence. Unlike most AI, I link to a neural implant that gives me access to my host's sensory and emotional responses. Slow this morning. But simply, I have a direct understanding of the human experience, which allows me to grow beyond the bounds of logical programming. In return, I lend my quantum computing power and rational analysis to a Pathfinder's mission. Oh no. I already read her, though, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. I already read him, too. Okay. I am physically located in a server bank installed in SAM node aboard the Ark Hyperion, but quantum entanglement technology allows instant communication anywhere. In the event of a catastrophic death or injury or death, protocol dictates that my command access be transferred to the next Pathfinder candidate in line. Suvi Anwar is a member of the Nexus science team and holds advanced degrees in astrophysics and molecular biology. In a screening interview, she stated that she was from a large, rather boisterous family of 5 children. Her neuroscientist mother and mathematician father exposed her and her siblings to science from a young age, which sparked a lifelong love of the subject. While pursuing her PhD in molecular biology, Suvi was handpicked for a team doing cutting-edge biophysical and cybernetics research. After a year, the team was headhunted by a Black Ops organization for a classified biomedical project. Suvi was extended an invitation but declined, opting to refocus her attention on her own projects. She declares that there was no hesitation on her part in signing up for the Andromeda initiative once she learned of its existence, owing to a desire to see and experience more than one small corner of this vast universe. Yeah, I already read about him. I already read about her. Okay. Did I already read about this? Because it's kind of hard to tell, because if you just go into this page and then the new entry is at the top, it's just going to remove that exclamation mark. But I think I already read it. Yeah. You know, how it struggles at the beginning and all that, I remember. Golden Worlds. Golden Worlds are planets in Andromeda's Helios cluster that are either the strongest possible candidates for settlement or whose resources could bolster the initiative's chances at long-term survival. Based on survey data and long-term projections, some are believed to be garden worlds capable of supporting life. Others are mineral treasure troves that could supply fledgling colonies with vital resources. These worlds were designated habitats 1 to 7. While not generally used in planetary surveying, the term Golden Worlds was coined by the Andromeda Initiative's marketing team and has stuck ever since. The initiative's early settlement strategy revolves around these golden worlds. The arcs cannot sustain the population in stasis indefinitely, and the nexus requires vast quantities of refined ore, helium-3, water ice, and element 0. On the ground, Pathfinder surveys are essential to confirming quickly that the golden worlds are suitable for outposts. Nexus Uprising. Despite Director Tan's reluctance to share them, the Nexus retains records of the so-called Nexus Uprising in the early months of the station's arrival. The damage caused by the Scourge killed members of the senior leadership. New individuals had to step in to fill these roles. However, with hydroponics damage and no habitable planets available, supplies were stretched to crisis point. Dissent turned to open rebellion against this new leadership. With the Nexus threatened, Krogan work crews were asked to provide military support against the rebels, now led by Head of Security Sloan Kelly, in return for political representation. The Krogan were ultimately successful, and the rebels were exiled from the Nexus. These exiles remain a concern for the Nexus leadership to this day. The majority of Krogan personnel also left the Nexus soon afterwards. Director Tan has declined to provide details or fill in gaps in the official record. What I don't understand is, why is the Pathfinder team not in the first ship? You know, that's the only problematic thing about this game, story-wise. Unless they were supposed to, I think they were supposed to arrive sooner, but it's still don't understand why they wouldn't be in the first ship. Because you would think that maybe they were supposed to set up that what do you call that, the arc. Maybe that's the logic. Set up the arc first so it's easier for the Pathfinder to move around different planets and all that stuff. But you would think that if the Pathfinder team is already there, they can just start doing their work, while they're working on setting up the arc. Founder of the Andromeda Initiative, Garson was one of humanity's wealthiest and most eccentric entrepreneurs in the Milky Way. Her business interests were wide-ranging, as she made her fortune from investment in a myriad of technology-related fields. Always a maverick, it was her vision of traveling to a new galaxy that set the Andromeda Initiative in motion. This sounds familiar. I think I've already read it, but there's an exclamation mark. Maybe because they added that last part, I think. Let me just read through this real quick. Ignoring skeptics and naysayers, Garson spent vast sums of money building and acquiring necessary technology and ships to make the long voyage possible. It was a private venture, entirely funded by Garson, so as to remain free from any government oversight. Yeah, I think they just added the last part. Unfortunately, she would never live to see her dream realized. She died aboard the Nexus when it sustained severe damage from the Scourge upon first arriving in the Helios cluster. Okay. Though encountering hostile species was a possible scenario, political, philosophical, and resource restraints in the Milky Way mean the Andromeda Initiative does not have a standing army and only minimal military hardware. Defense was planned to revolve around technological superiority. The Ket, however, represent a greater threat than anyone projected. The Nexus militia was formed by Tyrant Kandros after he was captured by the Ket and led other prisoners in an escape. Debriefs show that upon their return to the Nexus, Kandros and his team provided the first early warnings about the Ket, and despite counter-arguments, founded an arm of volunteer militia. Today, enrollment lists show... They keep forgetting to put these commas. Today, enrollment lists show over 300 active members with 150 in reserve from a variety of combat backgrounds. Kandros describes Apex as the militia's long reach, selected for exemplary combat skills and experience. Apex forces are small but elite teams that handle special operations. Most Apex members have rescinded their colonist status to focus on defense. Okay, that's done. But this is just one of like 7 fucking folders. The Nexus. Oh, I call it the Ark. Intended as a safe anchorage, an embassy and financial center, the Nexus is a vast space station sent ahead of the main Ark fleet. So the fleet that we're on is the main Ark fleet, is the main fleet, I guess. But yeah, again, it's still, I don't know, I'm not convinced. It traveled to Andromeda in an incomplete state to reduce fuel demands, with construction planned to be completed with a standard year after arrival. However, syncing with Nexus database reveals that damage from the Scourge has set the timetable back significantly. Returning Ark's anchor at the Nexus's central wheel, integrating their power grid and offloading colonists for orientation, and temporary housing before deployment to outposts. The Nexus collates and manages the resources which form the basis of the initiative's economy, coordinates scientific research and defense, and acts as headquarters for Pathfinder teams. Once outposts are established, the Nexus will become the permanent seat of government for the initiative. 15 kilometers length. Widest point is 4.9 kilometers. Anchorage wheel diameter is 5.3. So it's not that fucking big, you know. Gross weight is 2.2 billion. Max population when completed is 2.7 million. Tyrant Kandros. In his screaming interviews, Tyrant Kandros states he is named after an ancestor who captured the Dreadnought in the Krogan rebellions, and he was expected to live up to the name. After beginning boot camp at the traditional age of 15, Kandros rose through the ranks and was assigned to Sagirus 8, one of the Hierarchy's counterterrorism divisions. Persistent rumors on the Nexus claimed that Kandros was sent to investigate the Andromeda Initiative when the Hierarchy became suspicious about its activities. Kandros refuses to comment on former operation, citing family pressures as the reason he later joined the initiative. During the early days of the Nexus's arrival, Kandros left the station to act as protection detail for a prospecting team and was captured by the Ket. See, they have a prospecting team. You know, why wouldn't that be like set up, comprised of also the Pathfinder, you know? He managed to lead several other captives in an escape and returned to the Nexus, eventually founding a volunteer militia to defend the station. Okay, after we read about the Nexus, we'll start playing the game. Andromeda Initiative Director Sharon Tan is a replacement leader for those who died in the Scourge disaster. Personnel records indicate that he was the Nexus's deputy director for revenue management when the arcs departed the Milky Way in 2185. That's a long sentence. However, upon arrival in the Helios cluster, the disastrous encounter with the Scourge led to substantial loss of life among the senior leadership. The line of succession eventually fell to Tan as the next in line for the overall director, much to the apparent consternation of certain Nexus personnel. Born on Surcash, Tan's application to the initiative list his previous work experience as senior consultant, advanced matrix-based accounting with hobbies in model building and travel someday. When queried if he had any prejudices that would affect his ability to serve the initiative, his answer was a blank. However, careful data forensics reveals his original reply was, "Wait, you're letting Krogan come along?" So he's a racist. Speciesist. Today, Director Tan has official oversight of initiative operations and strategy and effective supervision of Pathfinder team. As the base of operations for the Andromeda Initiative, the Nexus leadership was always intended to be split between Initiative proper, station operations, and colonial administration. Jean Garçon planned to retain an honorary role, electing the Asari matriarch Nara as Initiative Director. However, both Garçon and matriarch Nara are listed as deceased, along with many of Noir's senior staff. The current director of the Initiative, Jaron Tan, was 8th in the line of succession. Today, Director Tan remains officially in charge of initiative operations and Pathfinder teams. Foster Addison retains her post as Director of Colonial Affairs, managing colonists and outpost deployments. The Nexus itself is administered by Superintendent Nakmoa Cash, who also oversees construction efforts. In the wake of the Cat attacks, Tyron Kandros emerged as the leader of the de facto volunteer militia that has taken over station security. Though technically a civilian, Kandros is counted among the Nexus leadership. Overseer of the Nexus's initial design and construction phase in the Milky Way, Nakmoa Cash is currently superintendent of the station. She has oversight of the Nexus proper, maintaining systems, integrating any returning arcs, and continuing construction efforts. She is also considered a senior figure in the clan Nakmor. Despite the departure of the majority of Krogan from the Nexus, Cash herself describes her role as fixer-in-chief. Records of the Nexus uprising show Cash played a key role in keeping the station operational during the crisis. Her strong management and knowledge of the station makes her an irreplaceable member of the Nexus leadership. Though minutes of official meetings suggest she and Director Sharon Tan are often at odds, Cash's presence ensures that the Krogan still have a powerful voice on the Nexus. Last one. Previous to the initiative, Foster Addison was the Chief Operations Officer for a provincial capital. She stated in the screening interviews that she preferred the position because it was the highest non-elected municipal office. It carried responsibility without requiring a public face. Foster was asked to head colonial affairs early during initiative training. She accepted after being assured that it was temporary. After arrival, Outpost would appoint the council, and she could be obscure on a new world. In the meantime, she would remain senior advisor to Jean Garçon. Unfortunately, Garçon died in the Nexus initial Scourge impact, to be replaced by Director Tan. During the rebuilding, Colonial Director Addison had no colonial affairs to direct. That limited the influence she wielded and increased the scrutiny demanded. She has expressed frustration at the open-ended nature of her position and the ongoing need for statements about the status or lack of outposts. Though she remains eminently capable, it appears to be exactly the job she didn't want. Okay. You got that cleared. Oh, they're Pathfinders. Okay. I just want to clear a folder, okay? Pathfinders are highly skilled explorers, scientists, and soldiers, but when partnered with the quantum computing of an artificial intelligence, they become indispensable. Developed by Alec Ryder, my matrix was the pattern for multiple SAM iterations intended to partner with a Pathrider, each traveling on their respective arcs. The nature of the artificial intelligence means that hosting each SAM iteration on different hardware causes multiple tiny variations. This results in unique individuals who are similar but fundamentally different to myself. Partnership with a Pathfinder allows continued development and increased empathy with organic individuals. Pathfinders go through extensive psychological training before being linked with an AI partner. Allowing full root access to an AI without sufficient preparation can result in unexpected and unwelcome side effects. However, those who are prepared and sync fully with their SAM are capable of extraordinary feats. The first Pathfinder neural implants were created by Dr. Alan Ryder, a pioneer in human biotic implant design. While biotic implants bolster and focus electric signals along the nervous system, Pathfinder implants go a step further by connecting to not only the nervous system, but circulation and endocrine function and exteroceptive senses. Synced with an artificial intelligence, the implants reveal their full potential. The implant is a two-way connection, giving me full insight into my host's physical and mental state, while allowing me to generate and alter electrical signals along my host's neural pathways that the body processes as its own. In a crisis, I can adjust the Pathfinder's balance, improve reaction time or muscle memory, or bolster biotic abilities. Quantum computing allows me to implement changes faster than synapses can fire. The main challenge for the Pathfinder implants was miniaturizing a QEC device enough to fit a neural implant. This connection keeps me in constant sync with my host. Okay, that folder is fully done now. Okay, let's play. Let's play. The loadout screen allows you to choose your equipment and squad mates before embarking on a mission. Okay. Oh, very cool. Whether how Liam and Cora. Unknown. It's an unknown. Oh, this is where. Oh, okay. So you do leave the ship from the what do you call this? The pilot cockpit. What is this? Oh, and you can drop. They can drop you off from over here. Okay.
Hey, can you drop by the biolab?
No, you can't have me, Cora. Yeah, everyone wants a piece of the Ryder. Failure? Oh, what? It was like a 70% chance of success. Some bullshit. Oh shit. Okay. Those are too difficult for them. Papa. Papa got 89% a chance of survival. I mean, success. We can make that look better, actually. Whoops. Wrong thing. Okay. It looks washed out though, right? Yeah, this looks washed out, so. Yeah, this is better. Okay. There you go, because it was a little too dark. I always have to kind of watch that, I guess. Because for some games, for some reason, the default setting that I have now, I'm playing in HDR, and this thing is supposed to adjust a HDR image to a non-HDR stream, and sometimes it just gets a little dark. What's this? Oh, buy sell kiosk. I don't know what that one is for. First person I want to talk
I'm in
to.
the armory.
It's actually this guy.
Pathfinder making the rounds. Slumming it, huh? Want to see how the riffraff are making out?
This isn't slumming it.
Hey, this is the most important part of the ship.
Whoa, don't tell me they put someone smart in charge for a change.
I am at your command. Just want to see how things are going with the ship.
I can coax more out of this baby than some might think, but we shouldn't go too far or push too hard between Nexus stops. For now. It just feels good to be stretching our wings, you know? Locked in idle too long, you start to drift. People, same as ships. Stuck on the Nexus, I gotta say, I was regretting joining the initiative.
Seems like life back there was pretty bleak.
Not gonna lie, it sucked. I tend to live the way I work. Kind of feel it, do it. Not a lot of close ties. No real sense of purpose. Figured maybe I'd find my true calling in Andromeda. Then I got here and oops, I just made a decision there's no turning back from. I was going nuts on that station. You can't know how jazzed I was when you showed up.
Is it the only kinda hot guy that you can mess around with? Okay, so if I select just any, that would be too washed down. I guess I noticed that even with that slightly brighter setting, it just doesn't look right. Yeah, it doesn't look right. So I guess this is the only way to do it.
Happy to be of service. I think you'll see that showing up is only one of my many talents.
Is that right? Well, I'll be sure not to blink. I want to see them all.
Let me know if I go too fast for you.
There's no such thing. You just keep pointing this ship wherever you want it to go, and I'll make sure she can get there. Deal?
Deal.
Yeah, you know, that's the funny thing about these Mass Effect games, that the things that you're able to do, or even like in BioWare romance options, like, yeah, these are the things that just they won't work in real life. If you say these things, you might get yourself in trouble more often than it would yield the result that you wanted, you know. Oh.
Long time no chat. What's up?
Seems like we have a good group here.
Well, veteran Suvi are my girls. Get along well. Lots of mutual respect. As far as your Hyperion peeps go, Doc's kind of nosy. Liam's good for a laugh or two. Cora, she's a bit by the book for me.
By the book keeps us alive.
Hey, variety's the spice of life, right? Different strokes makes for healthy debate.
What about Callum?
He's a pilot,
Which means
he flies the ship.
we're leaving it at that then?
Does a Pathfinder know what to do with a dead end?
No, different strokes lead to a good time. That should have been what I should have said.
How tough has it been on the Nexus all these months?
Have you ever eaten overcooked space cow tongue?
Can't say I have.
Well, let me tell you, it's tough. Wondering if you're gonna die from a critical malfunction, or maybe starvation. Imagining which would be worse. But hey, you could always take a break from the fear and boredom to dwell on being a part of the biggest failure in galactic history. Maybe even participate in a revolt.
What was your take on that?
I didn't place any bets, if that's what you're asking. Truth is, I don't think anyone made out particularly well. Whatever side you're on, you die a little when your brother, your teammate, becomes an enemy. We traveled all this way, all hope and wonder, and we end up fighting with each other over scraps. It's sad.
I hear we have you to thank for getting the Tempest space ready so quickly.
Vetra brings her impossible feats to me. I was itching to get this particular call. Capital R ready. Don't tell her, but the truth is, I fudge reports to come in early, then bust ass in secret to make up for it. Expands the guild legend. Plus, I convey calm and assurance, and the whole team relaxes, which helps them do their jobs better.
What's your social circle like?
I'm good for a laugh, so I know lots of people, but I don't let too many in. My one true friend is stationed on the Nexus. She's the only piece of the Milky Way I brought with me. The more you and I get to know each other, the more you'll probably hear about her.
Good talking to you.
Anytime. Hey, Ryder. What's the story?
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
Wow.
Pathfinder, help me with something? I know, not exactly standard. Gotta make the space comfortable. Plus, the fabric diffuses the charge from an overclocked Omni blade. No giving up a 6% boost, right?
Someone brought this to Andromeda?
It was new when we left. Been a hard year. So, finally time for that bid? And after 2 years and a dozen suspensions, I took a lateral promotion out of the force. Being a cop just didn't fit. But crisis response, digging people out of trouble, that worked. I bet Hustle followed you into a few peace actions. Think about your Alliance days much?
Tell me about your group.
Heavy urban search terrain 1? Yeah. Earth's contribution to a multi-species disaster response unit. HUST-1, but Hustle looks much better on the patch. All civilians, retired vets, or shits like me. I was fiercely bearded. Tastes better just thinking about those days.
I put it behind me after Dad's work went sour. It was a long time ago.
600 years, give or take. So, Pathfinder. Why Andromeda?
That blunt, huh?
That blunt.
No. So our male options, this guy and the engineering dude. The color is better though with this. You know? Yeah, this still seems slightly washed out, so. Oh well.
I'm looking for moments like this with people like you.
Ah, sorry, guys aren't my thing.
Oh!
But good to know I'm universal. Still an answer though. Something far from home. I get it.
Back at you, Costa. Why'd you come?
I want to say
I thought
I'm
it
running
was-
from my past, but really running from myself. That'd be a great story.
I misremembered
But
this
it's
moment.
bullshit. I had family, friends, a good enough job. Nothing was wrong. I just heard about the initiative and I believed in it. I believed in a new beginning. Still do. I have to.
I thought it was
Really?
bisexual. I misremembered this exact conversation. Yeah, I played all the way to the first planet, and then that's when I stopped. But yeah, but that's pretty cool though. I mean, like if somebody's hitting on you and you're not interested, it doesn't have to be a an awkward exchange. I mean, life is short enough, difficult enough. And if someone's interested and they express interest, unless they're not able to let it go after you tell them they're not interested, then it becomes something else. And I guess the representation here, like the way they want to represent the future, is like, yeah, if people are hitting on you, I mean, like it doesn't matter what sex or whatever. It's like, yeah, hey, cool, but I'm not interested in that. Just simple as that. And the funny thing is, I mean, it is flattering if you if you're attractive to just anyone, doesn't matter which gender or sex, if you're attractive, you're attractive, and you should take that as a compliment instead of seeing it as something, so disgusting. No, just you're an attractive person. You're just not interested in that other person. For that person's sex, whatever it is, Then just move on. But it's definitely a compliment.
We can't go back. But we're not trapped by decisions a galaxy behind us.
I don't feel trapped. We came from a good place for good reasons. We keep that in mind, it will steer us right, just like back in Crisis Response. Remember the essentials. A new start guided by the Pathfinder. And team. I'll bust my tail to make that a good story.
What is he even watching?
Yeah, Ryder?
We barely covered how you joined. Tell me something about yourself.
Alright, I was a bad student, piss poor cop, great responder. Had a good life, but it'd all been done. I wasn't looking to start over. I wanted to start big.
You were a cop then, crisis response? Couldn't have been long in either.
Didn't have the patience for law, so I figured enforcement. Dad knew it didn't fit before I did. But it got me into hustle. They mostly take vets and retired service. Best years of my life.
You found your place. Not everyone gets that.
I knew it. Glad for it every day. And that led me here.
Tell me about your family.
I miss the hell out of them. Some nights you just cry, right? That's the thing everyone does. Mom Joelle, Dad Calvin, both lawyers. Met on the Citadel, settled on Earth. No brothers or sisters. That might have been too much to leave. It was traditional. How about you?
Traditional is a weird term for family. Like normal. Who's that describe?
Suppose you're right. I sure didn't keep the tradition. I said goodbye to my mom and dad and got on a ship to Andromeda.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
You know, you gotta make moves for yourself. At the end of the day, it's your life. But it's kind of crazy though, knowing that you're gonna be.
Talk to someone. Maybe they could use you on comms. So you get to be with the Pathfinder and I have to watch your radio? The radio or help catch with cleanup? Oh, hey, Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder's there? Let me say hi.
Fine, but don't embarrass me. Ryder, this is Sid, my sister. Sid, Ryder.
Let me guess. Little sister?
Who are you calling little?
Look, kiddo, gotta go.
Wait, Ryder, I just wanted to know if...
So I know it feels like I just jumped aboard your ship without explanation.
No. Guess it beats the Nexus.
Now's as good a time as any.
I know that I can be of use here. I know everyone on the crew, even the actuators Gil prefers for the ship. Better, I know how to get my hands on them. With me around, your crew's going to be at their best. We've been failing for months, Ryder. Now that we have you, we have a chance out here.
You're intense. I like it. He's not that other carapace dude in the trilogy. Forgot his name. He was hot.
We need people with skills. And it sounds like you've got many. Welcome aboard.
Yep, making deals to get the things you want, shooting at the things you don't. That's me. We all have a personal stake in this. If it keeps going the way it's been, we're all dead. I should track down a lead for Gil's actuators. Back channels, you know. We'll chat later?
No, we're chatting now. Do you have something else to say to me?
Hey, Ryder.
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
And you?
Some days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? Thing about conning people, you always know something they don't. And that's why the con works. And if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
You're pretty familiar with the ship.
I made sure the technicians had what they needed to keep the Tempest ready and waiting. Leadership wanted to strip her for parts, but I kept saying, a Pathfinder's gonna show up. I like being right.
How did you hear of the Andromeda initiative?
Short answer, Cash. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually I figured out something was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
We brought a lot from home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who, and what they're willing to take in exchange.
It can't be that simple.
Oh, but it is. Most things are simple once you know the trick to them.
That's true.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Now, where is the behind 1963 until I wake up and I turn back to myself. Oh, okay.
You're not Harry.
The blue give it away? Habitat 7 was a little more action-packed than Harry bargained for. He decided to spend his retirement years on Hyperion looking after your sister.
Happy to have you, Dr. Tapero.
I'll do my best. Now, hold still.
Ow!
Sorry.
I remember you having a gentler touch.
Still trying to get my bearings. Thought I'd be waking up colonists, not taking care of the Pathfinder.
Being nervous means you understand what's at stake.
That's the problem. I always hoped to work in the field, but everything's happening so quickly.
Focus on the positive. It helps.
I guess this is my opportunity to study alien species firsthand. Getting a cat specimen aboard the Hyperion would be difficult, but here,
What?
a cat corpse. For autopsy, a live subject would be better, but I'm not greedy.
Why do you care about the cat?
Harry didn't tell you? I'm a specialist in alien anatomy. My thesis on Krogan virility and aggression is what got me in the initiative.
Anatomist? Physician? That's quite the resume.
I'm also a licensed psychologist. 275 years has given me plenty of time to branch out. But we were discussing the cat. An autopsy could teach us potential weaknesses, average lifespan.
Right.
Just something to think about. Sam, make sure the Pathfinder eats his vegetables.
Oh, Scary's back here.
Need something?
So, how did a sorry doctor end up on the human ark?
Specialist in alien anatomy, remember? That includes humans. Also, Harry insisted. Maybe he always intended to switch jobs.
How long have you and Harry been friends?
I remember when he didn't complain about arthritis. We met at a medical convention on the Citadel. He was moderating a panel on neurosurgery in low-gravity environments. His name card was crooked, but he was so damn confident, I knew we'd be friends.
I need to talk to you about something private.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
When Dad died, He blocked off parts of Sam's memory, things he didn't want me to see.
Or he thought you weren't ready for.
Maybe. I found this trigger. It unlocked a memory fragment of Dad on the Citadel, from when the Alliance rejected his ideas about AI, and he found out Mom's illness was terminal.
Why do you think your father chose this specific memory?
It was where his journey to Andromeda really began.
Those events started your family down a new path.
Yeah. Thanks, Lexi. Feels good to talk about this. I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Lexi. Lexi. Now, where the fuck is this biolab? I don't remember. So it must be up here. Here?
Nice place you found.
Clean air, plants, helps me think.
Something on your mind?
Maybe.
Your biotics always do that when you're maybe stressed?
I got it. I'm good. I don't normally lose it like that. A huntress should have better control.
Huntress?
Another term for an Asari commando. I was one, before the initiative. Some things stick, though. Like losing the old man.
You were his second in command. Were you friends, too?
He was more a mentor than a friend. Prickly old bastard. But I respected that. People treat geniuses like they're made of cut glass. I didn't care how smart he was. I think he liked someone not caring.
How does a human soldier get to serve with Asari?
Prove your biotics can rip an APC apart, and people get nervous. Funny that. The Alliance found me a cross-species military initiative in a hurry. Sent me to Thessia to serve with a Huntress unit. One of the few places where my powers were welcomed. Your father made another one.
I know it's not the same, but I'm a good listener.
I hope you're as good at being Pathfinder. I said I wouldn't get in the way. And I meant it. But I prepped for years as your father's second. Then he chooses you? An untrained Pathfinder and all this mess to fix? The hell was he thinking?
Is this going to be a problem, Cora?
I don't want a rival. Just answers. It's done. Best I can do now is be your second. Keep your father's mission alive. Then maybe we'll all get what we came out here for.
So what brought you out to Andromeda?
Biotics like this. Thinking like an Asari huntress. I never had a place. Best I could be was a useful freak. The initiative was meant to be different. Will be different if this mission succeeds. So I'm seeing it through. It's quiet in here. I can keep the plants watered while I work. First job, see if there's any news on the Asari Ark. If they made it, we could use some Asari expertise. If you want to talk, I'll be here. Ryder?
Did you come out here with anyone? Maybe someone you served with?
I had my fun on shore leave. Nothing serious, though. Asari huntresses figure things out, but I was there for soldiering, not romance.
Does that mean fraternization is okay for Asari commandos?
It'll happen, but usually only for one deployment. Asari don't usually stay with each other long term. After your 500th birthday, you learn some self-control.
500 years of sexual escapades.
What did you do while you were part of the Asari military?
4 years in a commando unit called Talane's Daughters. Part of the Council's cross-species military integration initiative. You probably had a more exciting time defending that Arcturus relay. But we did good work. Peacekeeping is a full-time job, even in Asari space.
What was your commando unit like?
Janae and I were the youngsters. Tethys was our old lady sniper. Kalia patched us up, and Valenza prayed between firefights. Our CO, Nasira, led us all over the Athena Nebula and beyond. A huntress's work is never done.
Who'd pick a fight with the most powerful species in the galaxy?
Themselves, usually. Terrorists, cults, rogue Ardat Yakshi, people demanding a withdrawal from the Citadel. The Asari were spacefaring when our Roman Empire was new. Didn't fix all their problems. Sometimes you need commandos for that.
You were in the Alliance before you became a huntress, right? What made you join up?
My biotics. I was still living on my parents' cargo freighter when they manifested. Untrained biotic power on a starship means accidents. But we couldn't afford a tutor. The Alliance had implants, the training, everything. Old history now. Your turn. Remind me why you came to Andromeda.
I spent years watching pioneers go through the Arcturus mass relays. Off to glory, while I stayed behind. Then Dad's career collapsed. His AI research made him too toxic.
I heard. Must have changed everything for your family.
We needed to start over somewhere new together. Or as together as we could. So, Andromeda.
None of you writers ever think small, do you?
After 4 years with Asari Commandos, you must have some great war stories.
Nasira assassinated a Krogan warlord with a pack of playing cards once.
A pack of cards?
Choking hazard, apparently.
Wow. Any more Commando war stories?
Always liked Janae. She was only 200, and with me around, she wasn't the kid anymore. She was a biotic protege. I once saw her yank an AA gun right off its housing. Crushed a gang of slavers with it.
Ouch.
They didn't feel it for long. Janae was a good friend. Maybe she still is back there. Won't be a kid now, though.
Any more Commando war stories?
Not just now. I'll try to remember a good one.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
Okay, so hold on. We're doing this. We're investigating this area here. But there's an interview thing. Right, additional task.
We haven't really spoken since orientation, have we?
It's all been so hectic, but I'm sure things will quiet down soon. Can't be worse than the Nexus.
What's going on?
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
Oh, I see. So I still missed some stuff from that meteorite. Because they have these blinking things. I don't know how to use it though. Progression 28, it says. Thanks to Corvus, the atmosphere brutally cold desert and reach extremely high temperatures. Indirect sunlight limit exploration to twilight hours only. So how do I don't know how to use this. I mean, it's like it's blinking red and then it stops blinking. Is that supposed to mean anything? I don't, maybe not. Oh, those blinking things are like just fancy UI shit. It doesn't mean anything. Look at that. It's just circle cycling. Okay. Thick dust clouds, dangerous electrical storms, and heavy gravity render H480 inhospitable even for well-equipped Krogan explorers. The planet is highly toxic. The most known life form, Ryer's helium-rich atmosphere, appears to host enormous colonies of fungal spores. This outlying world is comprised of iron frozen nitrogen. One oddity stands out. Certain geological features suggest the nitrogen seas were once liquid. Extremely radioactive and high velocity winds make H479 a poor candidate for mining, despite its rich metal deposits, a potential candidate for future endeavors. Even at this distance, the black hole presents a risk to onboard ship systems. The accretion disk around it is composed of remains of at least one solar system destroyed by the black hole's formation and gravitational pull. Caution is advised.
Familiar territory.
The Nexus has been here for months. Still not enough time to survey it all. Anomaly detected. Anomaly detected. Probe away. Anomaly found.
Broken up by space-time distortion in the scourge. Okay. That's all I get there, just a little bit. Little girl. Oh. What's up, little girl? Why are you like that, little girl? Mach 1 is largely composed of hydrogen and methane. Relative proximity to the Nexus makes it useful. Core discharge site. Plans for helium-3 skimming stations are in progress. Oh! Okay. Little girl. Give me a second, little girl.
I'm picking up something.
Oh, some of them have anomalies. I hope I didn't miss any. Like, well, let's just look, see if it adds to the progression.
Deploying probe. Detecting what's left of a ship.
Oh yeah, okay, it does add to the progression. So. Nice looking ship too. Small but scorching world, partially due to crushing nitrogen carbon dioxide atmosphere. Evidence suggests its icy ring was once a small comet. Faye, an extremely hot and volcanically active world. Thick carbon dioxide and ethane atmosphere covers an iron-rich surface with deposits of calcium. Okay.
Probe away. Getting a scan.
This volcano has recently erupted. Phase in unusually strong gravity means the lava flow is localized, may be valuable for study. I thought we scanned everything, but it's 83%. Did I miss one?
Pathfinder, do you have just a minute?
Yeah, I came all the way back here just to do this interview with you, so you should feel special.
Ryder, isn't it? Kerry Tavessa, freelance vidmaker. This is Hakeem, my producer. I could use your help.
What are you looking for?
Director Tans asked for an uplifting documentary on the initiative. Translation, paint rainbows over our problems. But our problems are history. People deserve the truth, not propaganda.
It takes integrity to record the truth and nothing but.
Well, I do my best. And you could help me out. The heart of my documentary will be an interview series. I was hoping you'd take part. I want the dirt and blood of our story, not the convenient fairy tale Tan's looking for. Interested?
You don't mind treading on the initiative director's toes?
What would he do? Pull funding we don't have? I'm game if you are.
Okay, interview away.
Let's start at home. 14 months and the Nexus still isn't finished. Arcs are missing, we have people in exile. By any standard, this wasn't the plan. Our leadership describes these as anticipated issues. Would you agree?
We still have to fix them. Everyone, leaders included, needs to pitch in. Let's be honest about these challenges and how we're going to face them.
Nice. Won't make you popular with the leaders, but it's good to hear. Bandwidth means I'm transmitting in short bursts, so that's all for now. But you can bet I'll have more questions later. Oh, great. I'll get to work editing.
Hello. Come here. Come here, my love. you went boo-boo, didn't you?
Hi there.
Don't shove the crate off the... You shoved the crate off the ramp. Where do they find these people?
Keeping tabs on things back here?
Yeah, I try to watch what's going on while we're away, but it's nice to check in person.
Going well, I hope.
As well as it can go with limited resources, yeah. Tiny steps.
Hello, Pathfinder. Nice to see you again.
Oh, yeah, I gotta remember that. To check out the special items at all vendor locations. The other vendor is where that prisoner is, so I just have to remember to check there too. Yeah, just trying to buy trinkets, that's all. Oh, okay.
Sure. Let me know what materials you need and I'll find you something. That's a relief. Thanks for helping out. I owe you one.
Hey.
Hey.
They all have the same stock, huh, between the two stores?
Welcome, traveler. How may I assist?
What goes on in hydroponics?
Hydroponics is an essential element of the Nexus's life support system. It provides the station with vital oxygen and food supplies. Feel free to stop by and see our botanist, Dr. Camden. He always enjoys speaking with visitors.
Tell me about the Pathfinder headquarters.
The Pathfinder headquarters is located within the Operations Center. It will proudly collect the work of our daring explorers for years to come. It is also where Director Jaren Tan oversees the initiative.
What do people around here do for fun?
Due to resource constraints, the Nexus's recreational venues are limited to the Vortex. The Vortex is a social establishment where colonists can gather to relax or enjoy a drink. Please remember, consumption of alcohol while operating machinery or piloting spacecraft is strictly prohibited.
What's the Cultural Exchange Center?
The Cultural Center is intended as an educational venue for any new alien species we meet. By teaching them about the initiative, we hope to foster an air of cooperation and understanding.
Tell me about the tech labs.
Initiative scientists are hard at work in the tech labs, analyzing data and samples acquired within Andromeda. The resulting information is then used to further initiative research and outpost creation. Please be aware, access to the tech labs is restricted to essential personnel only.
That's all.
It has been my pleasure.
Can I go to hydroponics? Cryo Bay, ocean, no, I don't see hydroponics. Okay, we're gonna stop here. Guess I just want to make sure that I initiated that quest with the reporter, you know, before I start doing my thing. You know, that reporter quest should have happened like when you come in to check on the ship, and then the reporter would run in and say, hey, you know, I'm doing this thing. I think that would have been better. Instead of contacting you via email while you're on the ship before you leave the Ark. Because now, you know, you have to come back and all that. The timing of it is off for that quest. So... Okay, well, until next time.